Got back in our first run in the Nike React Infinity run, Flyknit, slightly long name. Just did a 7Ks at kind of I think it was about 440 pace. Actually a great feeling shoe underneath the foot. A few cockatoos in the backyard, was running with them as well. Hot summer's afternoon here, I think it was about 28 degrees, so whatever that is in Fahrenheit, we'll put it up on the screen here. What is underneath the foot felt great. It felt like you're running kind of on that forefoot. The forefoot's nice and cushioned, very splayed, a good cushioning system underneath the foot. This very durable outsole, so you're going to get a lot of life out of that. Quite grippy. It was very dry here, like I was running on footpath, so didn't have an issue with that at all. I think it'd probably cope well in the wet, but we'll keep that for a post 100k review if we get any more rain here. Very durable outsole, you got a lot of rubber there, a lot of traction, but where the most component is in this midsole as well as the upper. So this Nike React, this is actually the first Nike I have ran in. So this React cushioning is actually a very nice cushioning system. It's a massive stack height. Running with that, I think it's a 9.4 drop, we'll call it a 10mm drop. I usually running around that kind of 8mm downwards, so this is actually the first shoe that I've ran with a 10mm. It actually seems to work quite alright. I didn't feel like I was heel striking in it. This does have quite a solid bevel on it, so it is slightly a bit more of a rocker shoe. But it didn't feel like I was chunking out that heel at all. Felt like I was landing actually quite more on that lateral side of the midfoot as well as the forefoot. And with that forefoot, it is quite splayed, so I thought it wouldn't be that stable. With it having a lot of cushioning splayed out on that forefoot, it does act for quite a wide platform, but the upper itself is actually quite snug. So you get a lot of that stability with that such a broad cushioning at that forefoot. So it's quite still flexible at that forefoot, but with that having that full ground contact, you are still running splayed in that shoe. Over the 7k run, I actually felt it quite quick. Didn't really feel like I could slow myself down at all and get into a kind of an endurance rhythm. I think that was kind of the 10mm pushing myself onto the forefoot plus that rocker. We'll have a bit more talk about that after 100k's have been put in this shoe. But the midsole as well as that clutch clip, it did actually work quite well. I thought it wouldn't be that stable, but with how much cushioning there is and with the width of the cushioning as well, you actually do have quite a wide platform to run on. So yeah, it actually works great underneath the foot. Useless thing about this shoe is just what's kind of wrapping around your foot. You can't really get this locked down. What I felt like today, you just couldn't get it dialed in. It's just trying to get the lacing quite tight on your foot, but then it's too tight and kind of feels like you're cutting off circulation to your toes. Heel actually held quite well, even though there's not really any heel counter on this at all. There's no nylon unit or plastic unit in the heel. Did actually hold okay, but kind of from your midfoot all the way to your toes, I felt like my foot was just kind of slipping forward in the shoe. The Flyknit is actually quite comfortable on the foot, but this lacing system just starts way too close to your toes compared to just bringing it up that extra eyelet as we've talked about, just to make it feel like it's actually on your foot. The Flyknit loft at your forefoot is actually quite comfortable, similar to the Odyssey, where it just tapers off very quickly. I just felt like it just shallowed off at the toes, so I did run with the US size 12. I usually kind of hover in between that US 11.5 and the 12. If it does feel a bit snug, I'd go to a size 12. That will probably soften up over the first few runs and that knit will probably stretch. But just yeah, the first initial run I did feel like it was quite a taper off to the toes. So initial likes about this shoe is what's running underneath your foot. So that Nike React cushioning as well as the outsole, that's going to be very durable. I see you're easily going to be able to get 800k's out of that, maybe even a bit more. But this upper, just with how much testing's gone into it, just isn't dialed in. Not sure if it's just my foot, but it's just a bit, yeah, it's not right. Just the lacing feels heavy. Like these lace, I actually thought during my run, I actually untied the lace and it was just kind of slapping on your foot, but they just felt heavy, the laces did, and you couldn't get a decent lockdown over the upper. We'll see how it ends up going after 100k's, 150k's. I think the outsole and midsole will actually be great, but it just depends how this upper kind of stretches or molds to my foot. I think it's actually a decent shoe, 230 bucks. I wouldn't go out there and buy it if this is kind of the shoe you want to dive into and just do a lot of training in if you haven't ran in a shoe like this before, but coming in at $230 definitely holds up to that price point in Australia with other competitors on that price point, similar to like the Ghost and the Adrenaline. I think it's a good shoe, just the upper needs to get dialed in quite a bit more. If you want any questions about the shoe, follow us up in the comments. If you like what we've done here, hit the like. Some good B-roll over my head. So yeah, gets rid of this coming on. Hit the subscribe button for the cockatoos in the background, and we'll see you in another video. See ya. Timing. I just got fucking something in it. What in my finger? The timing of the cockatoo though. Buffalo. Oh, cheers mate, I was a bit dehydrated.